Hello, my name is Paul. I'm owner and founder of Paul Doberman Kennel. Today I'm going to be explaining how to create and post Doberman ears after they've been surgically cropped. My method contains 4 different materials. It's the simplest I've found so far and the easiest. And I have a 100% success rate with getting the ears to stand with this method. But you can modify it to suit your needs. It's not a law to use exactly what I use or do exactly how I do it. I just show my method, and you guys can take what you like and modify it to suit you best. So the first material that I get is the 1/2-inch backer rod. This you can find at any utility store like Lowe's, Home Depot, or I order it off of Amazon because it's really easy and quick. They come in different sizes, so this is the 1/2-inch, and it's 250 feet of the 1/2-inch. You can buy it in 100 feet as well. You're definitely not going to need 250 feet if you have just one puppy. The second material I use is packing tape. I have the Scotch brand packing tape, but you can use the Gorilla brand packing tape or any packing tape that's clear. The second material is the 3mm brand micropore tape. It's a paper tape. It's decently strong when it comes to sticking to the dog's ears, but not too strong. So if you ever have a problem like an infection or the dog scratches at it, eventually they'll be able to knock them down. And I kind of like that rather than having a really strong tape that regardless of how much they scratch at it, they can't get it down, and then you end up with really infected ears. So this is what I use. And then the final thing would be a pair of scissors. A pair of sharp scissors. Really doesn't matter what brand, but I also have a Scotch brand scissors. Alright, so I've already cut a piece of backer rod around 6 to 7 inches long. The first thing you do is lay out the packing tape on a flat surface, and then when you set your backer rod down, you're going to leave about 1/4 of an inch unwrapped. This unwrapped side is going to go inside the dog's ear, and the thinking behind it is you wanting to put something soft in the ear so it doesn't scratch or irritate in the dog's ear, creating an infection. So you'd lay it right along the side of the packing tape, straighten the backer rod out, and after you've done that, use your scissors to cut it. Lay it down flat and roll it. All right, and I do this at least 2 times, leaving that 1/4 of an inch unwrapped with that tape. Cut it again and just roll it. All right, and that's the second step. That's how you'd like it to look, nice and even. You don't want any rigid ends on it. The next thing that you do is take the micropore tape, start at the side that isn't wrapped, that 1/4 of an inch, and cover the edge of that packing tape. This is really important. You don't want that edge cutting inside the dog's ear, so wrap it at least 2 times around to get rid of that sharp edge, and then slowly start working your way up with the tape. And the more you do this, the easier and quicker you're going to do it. Once you get the whole way to the top, I go around at least once, and then I work my way backward, exposing the sticky side. So what this is going to help with is when you're sticking the post in the dog's ears, it's going to help that post stay there. Not only help you wrap the ears better, but it's going to help keep the post inside of the ear and keep it from coming out. And then at the end, just do one more time around and cut it off, and there you have a perfectly made dog post. And that's that side that we left untaped. This is going to go inside the dog's ear, and we're going to tape around it the whole way to the top. All right, now that we have the posts made and we're ready to put them in the dog's ears and post the dog's ears, the next step is to get the dog, place him in between your legs like I got my girl here, Enola. And you should probably be sitting on something small like a bucket or a small chair. She's almost full grown, so I can sit down in a nice lawn chair. Get her in between your legs, make sure she can't move in and out. All right, the next thing to do is to get some of this either paper towels. I'm using tissue paper because we ran out of paper towels, but definitely use a paper towel if you can. Get your finger in there and clean out all the gunk. I've already cleaned it out, so hers is pretty clean already. Well, still got a little bit of stuff there. And after you've cleaned that all out and it looks good and shiny in there, you can place the post in there. There we go. Clean everything out as deep as you can go. Make sure it's no wax in there. Take another piece for the second ear. There we go. Okay. Now, get your post. This is the untaped side that doesn't have any packing tape or scotch tape exposed. It's very important that there's no scotch tape exposed because that's going to grind in there and cut the ear, creating it to create fluid and infection eventually. The next thing to do is the dog's going to have a little pocket right there inside of the ear. The dog's going to have a little pocket right there inside of the ear. You're going to want to stick the ear post right in that pocket, push it down a little bit, and with your thumb push the post, and with your middle finger pinch the outside of the ear, keeping it in place. The next thing you want to do is get the micropore tape. I always start in the middle, on top of the post, over the natural flap to the outside, and do it straight across. Don't go up and down, just do one strap at a time. Make sure it's not too tight, make sure it's not too loose. You want no wiggle room in between the ear and the post. Okay, and then you can work your way either up or down. Okay. And just continue the whole way up. At the top, you don't need too much tape because the middle is already holding that top in place. And then at the bottom, towards the base, you want to lift up slightly. Go at the bottom there. Again, not too tight. We don't want to cut the blood circulation. And then at the very bottom, still start from the post. Go up a little bit, sort of at an angle. You're not going to be able to go straight across at the bottom. You're going to have to go at an angle. And you kind of want to close that open gap so they can't shake the post outside of the ear. When you're finished, it should look like this. You want to put your index finger right on top of the ear so you're not snipping off the top of the ear, and cut that extra piece of back rod off. And your finished product should look clean, sturdy, and the position of the ear should be facing the front. It shouldn't be like this. This isn't a correctly posted ear. You want that position to be facing the front of the head, exactly like it is right now. All right, let's do the other ear now. So again, this is the unwrapped side, and you can feel that. And there's no scotch tape exposed to where it can cut inside of the ear. 1 second. Again, you want to stick it inside of that pocket of the ear. Pinch the ear to the post. Oh, another thing, positioning wise, the dog has a hairline right here. Right there is that hairline. You don't want the post to go over top of that hairline like this, or you don't want to go too far back. You want to be right beside that hairline. So right beside that hairline and the whole way down in the ear. And that's going to make this part of the ear look towards the front exactly like you want it. If you do it like this, it's going to misposition the ear and it's not going to stand correctly. So you want that post right beside that hairline, pulled all the way to the top. And then again, grab your micropore tape from the middle of the post over top of this natural flap. Don't extend this, don't open it. You want to leave that natural. This is going to create the base and the strength for the ear to stand. So go over top of that, towards the outside, straight across, and no room in between. Rip it off. And again, straight across. A big indicator that you've wrapped too tight or that you've pushed the post too down in the ear is if the dog continuously scratches at the ear. And if the dog continuously scratches at the ear, something's not right. Well-posted ears, the dog won't scratch at them. Eventually they'll fall out by themselves, but they shouldn't have any pain or be itching or scratching them at all. Then at the bottom again, you pull up a little bit, go across, tape, and at the very bottom, like in the last ear, you want to go sort of at an angle because you're not going to be able to pull the ear high enough to go directly across. There we are. Another perfectly posted ear. It's standing right there where you wanted it to, facing the front right like you wanted to. People always ask me, do we need to what is it called? Connect them in the middle with a bridge. I used to do that. In my last video, I did that. What I saw it do though is it doesn't let the ear muscles flex. So when the dog is going to get a tent or when it's going to get excited, it's going to flex those ear muscles, pulling those ears parallel. And that's what you're trying to get more of. So you're going to want to get your dog excited. You're going to want to play fetch with your dog and get him to strengthen those muscles in beside the ear. Another thing that bridge does that I didn't like is it inhibits the dog's ears from turning in and out, which the dog naturally does. So you're going to want to let those ears unbridged. I know other methods call for you to bridge it. Like I said, this method has worked for me, and that's why I'm making this video. But definitely feel free to experience anything or try any different method out. For now, I'm not bridging. I find that it helps more. Also, other breeders in Europe have agreed with me that bridging does more bad than good. One of the things I was noticing with the bridging is we'd bridge in perfect position, and then when we cut the post out to let them dry for a couple of hours, they'd fall right back down. But now what's going on is the weight's pulling them down. They have to bring them up. So when you take the post out, it's like you've been wearing a weight, and all of a sudden that weight's just falling off, and boom, ears go perfect. Big round of applause to our girl Enola. She's an import from Ukraine. Good job.